All right, Kat, can we pick up where we left off with this amazing list that BuzzFeed put together about everyday things that you see all the time, you use all the time, but you don't even know what they're there for?
Right. We are going to pick back up with the little hole in the bottom of a padlock. You ever noticed that before?
I guess I haven't, but just trust that there is one at the bottom of a padlock.
Sure.
I have no idea why a hole would be at the bottom of a padlock.
Well, there's a couple reasons. The first one is that it lets water drain out of the lock if it's being used outdoors. So it doesn't,
that makes sense.
Yep, so it doesn't rust in the rain or freeze or, break down in the wintertime.
Okay, that makes sense.
That hole can also be used to oil the lock to keep it working properly.
Also makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
How about...
this next one.
Yeah, you don't see this so much on like phone cables and stuff, but you see it on like your digital camera chargers.
I've seen this so many times.
I don't know how to describe it exactly.
I can do it. So like when there's stuff that you plug in to like whether it be like your electronic device to a computer or even to a wall, like towards the end of one of the sides or both, there's like a little pack of nothing. It's just like a box.
Right.
Or in this case, like it's like a cylindrical shaped or whatever, however you say it.
Cylindrical.
Thank you. I assumed it was maybe housing other like wires that like they didn't fit into the other part of the wire. But why is that little pack at the end of some like charging cables?
Well, they're called ferrite cores or chokes. They're essentially just chunks of magnetic iron oxide. They're there to suppress high-frequency electromagnetic interference.
Okay, so perhaps the electronics could be interfering with other stuff, but this would limit that.
Sure. So maybe you've been on your cell phone before you got too close to a speaker and you got some weird interference. Well, the ferrite cores in these cables are there to keep that kind of interference from happening.
Like even our webcam wires have them on them.
Actually, yeah. While we're talking about that, hold on. Let me see if I can... Here. My laptop charger has one. This thingy. That right there.
That thing right there, exactly. For people watching online at 1061evansville.com.
So that is apparently full of little chunks of magnetic iron oxide, and it suppresses high-frequency electromagnetic interference. So it keeps from getting feedback in things like maybe our microphones with the laptop sitting so closely.
Or maybe I can... No, I won't fit. I was going to say I could show you the webcam wire has the same thing on the end of it. But yeah, so that's what that's for.
Okay. So, if you've ever wondered how utility blades work.
Yeah, I've seen this because they all have, like, perforated lines.
They're scored.
Like, I guess they're kind of like razor blades.
Yeah.
Yeah. I assume that maybe you could, when your blade gets dull or you need a sharper one, you could maybe cut it off at the serrated part.
Yeah. I always thought you just kind of popped them off, but then I always wondered how you would pop it off without slicing your finger open.
Yeah, I assumed you'd have to, like, cut it or something, but you could get a new blade, kind of.
Right. So you actually take the back cap off of your utility knife, and then you slide the blade out the back end, and then you use the cap to snap off the end of the blade before you put it all back together again.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know there was a tool to do that, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. If you've ever wondered why some caps have the little spikes in them.
Okay, I think I know this one. So, like, I've had, like I got prescription medicine one time that was, like, an ointment. I needed to, before my surgery, I had to put the special ointment on my back.
Right.
And the end of it had, like, the top had a point. And I think it's so you can take the top off and you can stab the foil underneath the protective foil to open the product.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're for.
Yeah. Okay, that one I knew.
Yep.
I didn't know it a year ago, but I know it now.
I bet you know this. The little bumps on the F and the J on your keyboard.
Okay, yeah. Most keyboards, they have, like, the F and J have, like, an indent or I guess like an outdent.
It's a little nub.
Yeah.
A bump.
I assume it was kind of like for home row or like so you don't need to look at the keyboard to know.
That's exactly what it's for.
Yeah, where the F and the G are.
Mm-hmm. And the 10-finger typing, the F and the J are home keys, so that's where your index fingers rest. And the little bumps let you find your way back to the home position without having to look down at your keyboard.
Is home row still a thing? Do kids learn home row?
I don't know.
Would. They still use keyboards as much as we would.
Yeah. I don't type efficiently. Like,
I'm not great at it. Like I do look at my keyboard.
You know, in the 60s, like women took keyboarding classes, mm-hmm. and they learned how to do data entry and that kind of thing. Like my mother my mother she knew shorthand and she could type. And I mean, she could type at like a furious pace on a typewriter.
Yeah.
And, that was not something I ever really learned. Like, I type the way that I have self-taught myself to type, so I can...
Self-taught yourself?
I self-taught myself, yes. I can type quickly, but not as fast as someone who, say, did a typing class. But it's not efficient like that. I don't necessarily use the home row, and I don't look for the little nubs on the keyboard. Have you ever wondered what the hole is for in the rulers?
Oh, I know what that's
Remember
for.
the old wooden rulers? They
Sure.
have the hole, or the plastic rulers, they have a hole?
I can tell you what I use them for. You put your pencil in there, you can swing the ruler around it in class and bother your teacher.
No, it's actually to hang them up.
That makes sense too.
That's simple, but that's the reason that they're there.
Yeah, we swing them like this with the ruler around our pencil, and then they fly off and get a kid in the eye, and we'd be in trouble. Mm-hmm. Yep, that little hole got me in a lot of trouble.
Apple power cables, like not for necessarily. I don't know if they're for your iPads. I've never seen one of these because I'm not an Apple person, but apparently there are little wings that flip up on your charge plug thing.
I didn't even know there was.
And you can use that by wrap your cable around.
Huh. Hold on. There's one over here.
Does it have wings?
Well, you can do stuff to it. Hold on. I don't see wings.
I don't see any wings either.
All right. We'll just skip this one.
Okay. And then if you want to know what the little dot next to the camera on an iPhone is for.
Okay, the dot on the camera, I actually assumed that was for like light detection.
Okay, that's actually a microphone for when you're using the rear facing camera.
That dot is?
Yeah.
You can see it on the video here. I'm holding up. There's like a little dot next to the camera. Hold on,
between the camera and like the light sensory thing?
Yeah, let me get a little closer there. You can see a little dot. I guess that's a microphone for the rear facing camera. That makes sense.
I was just looking at my Samsung. I don't think I have anything like that. That's okay.
Dork.
I have one up here. I have a little hole right there.
All right.
If you've been eating Tic Tacs, you've probably been eating them wrong your entire life.
I've learned this one recently. So yeah, there's always been like a little slot at the top of, like when you open the Tic Tac thing and you flip the top over, it stays attached, but there's a little like slot, and I guess you're supposed to put a Tic Tac on that thing.
Yeah.
Who would do
You
that?
Shake it over and then you pop it out and then you get a Tic Tac. It's a one at a time single serve sort of thing.
I feel like that's not convenient. That's not like practical, I feel like.
The little plastic discs that are underneath the lid on a plastic bottle cap. So, you buy your soda in, say, a 2-liter or a 20 ounce. You unscrew the plastic cap. Well, inside that plastic cap, there is a little plastic disc. It's like a clear disc.
I've been compelled with that thing because it feels cool to the touch. Like it's nice to touch. I don't know why it's there, though. Maybe, is it cleaner than whatever's underneath of it?
Nope. It's there to create a seal that keeps everything in the bottle, not only the liquid, but also the carbonation. And without that little clear plastic disc, your soft drink would go flat in absolutely no time.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
That little thing?
Yep, that's what does it.
I would never have guessed that.
Do you remember the pink and blue erasers? Like one side was pink and one side was blue?
Yeah, the ones you held in your hand, not like the ones on the end of your pencil.
Yep.
Yeah? What about them?
You've probably wondered what they were for.
I guess I'd never thought about that.
And you probably thought that it could erase pen ink. And it can, but it only works if you're using really strong, thick paper, because the blue side is harder, it's more abrasive, it takes more paper off when you use it, which is probably why you've, tried using it at some point when you were younger and went through the paper.
Gotcha.
If you've ever wondered why wine and champagne bottles have indentations at the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah.
This is the last one, by the way.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, every wine bottle, the very, very bottom, like the part that touches the table, there's like perforations all around it.
Right, and then it's often raised, like it's domed at the bottom.
Yeah, why is that?
It's to compensate for the pressure of the contents of the bottle that they go through during the corking process. The sides and bottom of the bottle are weak spots, and the indentations.
Process, it sounds so dirty,
doesn't it? The indentations actually.
Come on, baby, let's go upstairs and begin the corking process.
The indentations help evenly distribute the pressure inside that bottle, and that's why it's much deeper on things like champagne bottles, because they're under more pressure because of the carbonation.
Okay.
There you go. The more you know, Rob, the more you know.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
And I'm going to write a text message to Brittany. I'm excited for later when I get home. We'll begin the corking process.
Right.
I'm excited for that.